Okay, so still can't get holding the camera right. It's just easier to hold it for me than try to set up on tripod and use push buttons and things. I don't have a microphone, so you know what you see is what you get. Uh, I guess few updates for the garden tractor saga. I got my Harbor Freight tire changer in, and I was on the fence between this like $130, $140 Amazon one that has a rim clamp instead of like the post clamp that's on the Harbor Freight changer. So on the Harbor Freight changer, you have to slide your wheel over a center post and you put a cap and a locking nut. I'm using my opposite hand to demonstrate this, that you can't see off camera, by the way. But you use a clamp plate and a locking nut and you pinch everything in place. This other one had 3 fingers that came up and they were adjustable. A lot more like a pneumatic or electric tire machine. And for doing the small wheels, the front wheels that are on a spindle, that would have been ideal. Because this one, the spindle diameter, even with bushings or bearings or whatever you happen to be using knocked out, it's too small to get over the center point of the post, so you can't clamp it. So those I'm doing by hand, which is fun. I got one done yesterday. I'll get the other ones today. I'm painting the wheels now. Some of them were really gunky. They'd been flat for too long. So like debris, just water leaves, stuff like that had gotten in there. And one of the rear tires had a huge gash in the sidewall, and there was a whole tire plug, like the stick type. There was a whole tire plug in there. Probably 3 cans of Fix-A-Flat were in there, and it was disgusting. But everything cleaned up, and so let's go look at stuff. So this is where I'm going to have the changer outside. I put in drop anchors, and I have some stainless steel flathead countersunk bolts, so when this isn't in use, I will put those in. I might have to change them out for a set of like domed cap head screws. I'm just gonna wait until I get this back off of the concrete and see what fits best. I wanted something flat, but I might not have gotten enough depth out of the drop anchors to do a countersink in there and have it sit flat. So it'll wait and see. I probably should have done this to all the rims or wheels, but the 2 bad ones. So this is the big one that had Fix-A-Flat all in it, and then that's the little one that was full of yard debris, water, stuff like that. Cleaned them up with the wire wheel, knocked all the rust down on it, checked it for holes. Nothing had any major holes in them. Well, nothing had any minor holes in them either. There were no holes, so I don't have to run inner tubes, near as I can tell. Just a lot of gunk and surface rust. Doing gloss black, just generic. I think, nothing but the best. What is this? This is all-purpose oil-based spray enamel from Magique. It was like the $5.99 a can stuff at Rural King, so nothing but the best. But it's coming along. It's not too bad. Right now, I'm kind of working on trying to figure out this PCV valve. Well, not PCV valve, crankcase ventilation system on here. So the vent box originally has a backing plate and a horseshoe clamp, and you can rotate this. These were the ones that I could find, and since it already had the bracket, I didn't cut the bracket off. Well, it puts the tubing kind of coming right into the cover. You can miss it. It's not too bad, but it's kind of right there. Then originally what it did was it ran one soft hose over here to a hard nipple that was a L bend. That came through this piece, and then the short piece that went from here back over to that was grommeted so it would fit inside of that. So the short piece created the seal, the metal L piece came up and through, and then another hose came out. So on this one, we are missing the cover that would go on top of the air filter right here. Not the outer cover, but the inner cover. And that does hold the air filter in place. I checked, the air filter will rattle around. So I took some foam sealing tape. I can set this, I stuck this in. I can set the filter on, clamp the outer cover onto that stud there where it goes, and then everything's nice and tight and sealed, and the double seal ring on the outer air filter should seal good enough around that it's not going to be a problem. I'll check it periodically and just see where I'm at. If it's an issue, I'll fix it later. Next thing, I initially wanted to just be able to get this hose kind of snake through and around and do what I got to do. That won't work. The hose doesn't have enough. It's too much radius. The hose doesn't have enough flex in it, and everything binds up and kinks. So then I got some nylon tubing and I was trying to heat it and do it, and that didn't work either. It also just wanted to kink. And so I broke out some steel tubing and finagled it into my tubing bender, and this is pretty much as close of a S radius that I can get out of it. I probably could have gone a little further on this bottom one where it's not completely like 90, but it was in there in kind of a tricky fashion. So what I plan on doing is snaking this up and through, putting a short piece of hose to connect those two. It should put me somewhere in the vicinity of like this. Let's see. Like this in some way. And I'll just have to figure it out from there. I don't know if I'm going to try to bend this leg up or what I'm going to do. But that's where we're at. That's kind of what I'm working on today, trying to figure that out. And so hopefully I'll be able to come up with something, and it won't just be like, Honda-rific with a stick-on open element breather filter. Alright, so this is what we got. Oh, we got no light. That's what we got. It's not great, and I'm not super proud. You can see there's issues. But everything's on, everything's tight, everything's where it needs to be. On the metal line that I formed, I ended up having to bend it. It was the most 90 on the back side, was the most of a 90. On this front side here, it was kind of, I don't know, a little less than a 90, a little over 90. Which direction? A little over 90. That's the direction. And so on the back side there, I had to tweak it just a little bit. It was initially rubbing. It was actually interfering with the cover piece there. But it's on and it works. I think for future, since all of these units are missing, well, not missing, all these units have the original breather box and hosing. The hosing is all deteriorated. They didn't use high quality like emissions hose on them, so just the oil fumes and stuff break them down over time. And this is emissions rated 3/8 fuel injection hose, and so that should last a pretty decent amount of time. But anyway, what I think I'm going to do for the other two when I get around to working on those is I'm going to take a longer piece of 3/8 steel tubing, and I'll actually bend it so it'll get this bend, it'll S-bend through here, it'll come out and then up, and I may even, too close, may even like trim off this corner or something there. I don't know yet. I have to play around with it and see how much issue this causes. But for the time being, it works. It's not held together with 18 pounds of electric tape like it was when I got the thing. And just in case anybody's wondering, I can't find anything. That's what, okay, here we go. Oh, we're gonna set this guy on because it'll hold itself. Don't worry. It'll be fine. And we're gonna try to do this one-handed because that's how I roll. And oh, look at that. I did actually manage to do it one-handed. Ha! Some days I surprise even myself. Let's see. Anybody in the way up there? Nope, nope. Okay. Alright, that's nice and snug. Like I said, I did pre-test with just the, just this. Oh, there's some gaps in there. But, it's what it is. I'm not expecting perfect. It's too old for perfect. I just want it to work. And I've already driven it. It runs pretty decent. I guess I need to change the hydrostat fluid. I got a new oil filter, and I saw kind of sort of what you got to do for it. But backside of the wheels are getting painted. The crankcase breather situation is sorted out for the time being, and I put that cover plate on knowing daggum well that I got to get the choke cable reinstalled. So that was fruitless. That was completely and totally useless to do that. But yeah, it's coming along. Hoping to have wheels on it maybe today, this afternoon. It'd be a miracle of miracles if it doesn't start raining. It's getting a little cloudy outside. If it doesn't start raining, I probably can get tires on it today. That would be super great. Let's see what happens. All right, so we got the back tires installed and mounted up. Right now they're on the jack stands, or I would spin it. This one, when I reset the jack stand, you can see I got a little close to the tire, but they're on. Oddly enough, I'm starting to think maybe I should invest in a set of wheel spacers just to kick them out a little bit, but I'm going to wait till the body goes back on. They've all got nice stainless steel metal valve stems. Got some touch-up paint. And front wheels are done, but I haven't mounted the spindles yet. I've got the bearing and stuff kit. I just haven't done it yet. I've been focused on all the other stuff. And right now, a lot of my time is spent doing work out in the field or in the woods, clearing trees and getting them ready for firewood. Stuff that I downed a year ago. Needs to be split and stacked. Here's front wheels. Again, yeah, I know those are different. I just happened to pulled two like that. Okay, so I pulled two of each style out of the box when I grabbed 4 out of the box, like just randomly. I grabbed 4 out of the box, didn't even think whatever that I had 2 styles, like because these are much more polished than the other ones. And just happened to work out that I had 2 of each style. So front got the shiny ones, back got the dull ones. I don't know. I think this will work out really good. I'm hoping. At first, I thought this stuff was dry rot, but it's just some weird decorative pattern they put in. I don't know. It's Chinesium, so, you never can quite tell. But yeah, I think things are coming along pretty well. We got the foot pads primed today. Yes, I know they're black. Wire wheeled them and sanded them and did everything that I could, and there were some small bits of surface rust that I just couldn't get out of. I really didn't feel like firing up my media blaster just to do foot pads on these. So I got some of that Rust-Oleum rust reformer. And years ago, the stuff used to come out of the can, it was kind of clear, and it turned purple, and then it would turn black only on the areas where it was actually doing something. The last few cans, I don't know, last couple of years, I guess, worth of cans, when I do use it, it just comes straight black out of the can and goes on. I'm half tempted to just start buying liquid OSFO again, just putting it on, because I'm pretty sure the older stuff that I'm thinking of was just aerosoled OSFO, because it it would just work the same way that stuff did. But I could be wrong. I don't know if there's anything good, bad, or indifferent about it. But these guys will be ready. These guys will be primed up, ready for paint. Oh, I got to get finger of doom. I got to get that guy welded in and then cleaned up, sanded, and prepped. I got to get the blade belt off, cut this bracket here off, prep the area, prep the bracket, re-weld the bracket. Because again, I'm a bad welder. I'm not that bad a welder. That's horrid. I don't think I'm going to paint deck. Obviously, I'm going to do some touch-ups and stuff where I weld, but I don't think I'm really going to go through and paint the deck. But since I do have it out, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. Since I do have it out, I probably ought to pressure wash it and then just let it dry and just do a quick coat. You know, just something to get some extra protectant on there. It's what I ought to do. That's probably what I'll do. Sometimes doing the right thing is just tired. Don't want to do it. I saved you guys the aggravation of watching me use that machine right there to do these tires that have really, really flexible sidewalls. And yeah, just it's fun times. But a lot of progress today. Today's progress. We got hydrostat, oil and filter fluid changed. I did not film any of that because it was super boring and there's too many videos of that on the internet. We got crank breather set up. We got space situation fixed here, so hopefully it seals up properly. All 4 tires are mounted, and I keep wanting to say mounted and balanced because I spent so many years in an automotive shop. All 4 tires are mounted. All the wheels are painted. All the touch-up paint is done. Everybody's got air in it. Man, now all I got to do is get the rest of it done. It might actually be a mower before the season is over. I'm doubting it, but it might actually be a mower before the season's over. All right, everybody have fun.